Did you know that a new refrigerator freezer costs about $3,000? I didn't know they didn't used to be such a major appliance in the house. I don't think, but I was looking at Costco for new refrigerator freezers, and even the ones without the computers on the outside, etc., are like $3,000. It's crazy. I know this because our ice maker stopped working. Every time it was cranking out ice, it would make this like groaning, grinding, whining noise that you could hear all throughout our four-bedroom house. Like you couldn't hide from this noise, and it drove me crazy. So I turned off the ice maker. So we run out of ice, and I need ice for my shakes. Yes, I'm high maintenance, and I turned off the ice maker, so no ice. And then I turn it on to get some ice, and it would make that noise, and it would drive me crazy. So this went on for about 2, 3 months because I just don't want to spend $3,000 on a new refrigerator freezer. So I'm trying to figure out. I went in there several times trying to figure out how to fix it, what's going on, what's wrong with it, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then one day I'm walking by the refrigerator and I get an idea. And I open it up and I look in the bin and I'm like, oh, look at that. The bin has ice in it. So I take the bin out and I see that it's caked with like just solid block of ice. So I take that out and I run warm water on it and I clean it up and I dry it up and I free everything. And then I look it up in the ice tray and the same thing. There's like this just thick thing of ice there. So I break that apart and I take it all out, turn on the ice machine, ice maker, and it works. And it was kind of like a miracle to me. Like I couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure it out. And then the neuro associations, the synapses snapped, whatever, and I knew how to fix the freezer. And we have an ice maker again. Let's get back to that. But it reminded me of the Michael Neill saying. Michael Neill is famous author, mentor, coach, very influential, really cool guy. He wrote The Inside Out Revolution, which is one of my favorite spiritual books, and also Super Coach. Really useful tools and insights with what he shares. So Michael Neill has a saying that you don't know until you know, and then when you know, you know. You don't know until you know, and then when you know, you know. And the freezer was like that. I couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure it out. And then all of a sudden I could figure it out. And when he's talking about you don't know until you know, and then when you know, basically he says, if you're stuck with something and if you don't know what direction to take, don't know what choice to make, don't know what's next, sit on the couch and wait. Just be quiet and wait. And you wait, what you're waiting for is that intuition. You're waiting for that little voice. You're waiting for a little direction. So you need that quiet. So now that takes me to only tens. The reason for only tens and taking all that stuff off your to-do list is so that you can listen to that creativeness inside you, that intuition, that gut feeling that guides you towards something that you wouldn't have thought of in all the busy noise, right? So that you'll know when you know. An example of that story is way back when I was sitting, this was several years ago, quite a few years ago, actually. I was sitting on my cushion and a voice said, we'll call her Betty, buy Betty Billy Joel tickets. Billy Joel was coming to the stadium near in our city. And I was like, I'm not buying Betty Billy Joel tickets. I haven't seen her in years. Why would I send someone I haven't seen in years and barely know Billy Joel tickets? I mean, I loved her because she was amazing, but we weren't close friends. I hadn't talked to her in several years. And next day I sit down on the cushion. So we're on day 2 and the voice comes again, buy Betty Billy Joel tickets. I'm like, I'm not buying Billy Joel tickets for Betty. Like, I'm not buying them for myself. I'm not buying them for her. Third day in a row, buy Betty Billy Joel tickets. I'm like, all right. So I buy Billy Joel tickets. I send them in the email that I have for her. They were a few $100 for even the nosebleed section. But I followed that voice. I had a call like a half hour later. Mark, how did you know? And I'm like, how did I know what? And she says, how'd you know that I was depressed and I couldn't get out of bed and all I wanted to do was see Billy Joel? I'm like, I didn't know at all. I just was meditating and the voice said, buy you Billy Joel tickets. I said, Mark, something happened at work It was horrible. I was accused of something terrible that wasn't true, and I couldn't get out of bed. And I've been depressed for days and haven't been able to get out of my house and get out of bed. And all I wanted was to see Billy Joel. That's all I could think of was I just want to see Billy Joel. And these tickets come out of the blue from you. So the long story short here is my intuition, when I have space, guides me to things that I wouldn't think of ordinarily. So I don't know until I know, and then I know when I do. So if you have something that's going on, you can't figure it out, and it's really racking your brain. Just wait. It's not time for you to know yet. That knowledge hasn't been born for you yesterday. And the more that you can allow it, remember, when you jump in the shower, that's when you have your ideas. When you're relaxed, when you're thinking about other things, when you're walking in nature, that happens. My grandmother and my mother have a ritual with a glass. Whenever you lose something, you turn a glass upside down on your counter. So whenever you lose something, you just take a glass, and I like to take a special glass that I'll notice, and you turn it over on the counter, and then you tell everybody in the house, don't touch the glass because it's doing its work, and you'll find the thing that you're looking for. I must say, this works. It is probably got 95% accuracy. Like the most uncanny things that I have lost have shown up and I've found. Sometimes an hour later, sometimes days later, sometimes even a month or two later. I have a battery powered vacuum cleaner and I couldn't find the battery adapter. So it was useless. I was going to go buy a new one and I turned a glass over and 3 months I hadn't found it. And then I ran into it and put the glass away because it worked. It always works. But again, that glass, when you see that glass, it's a reminder. It goes into your subconscious and it helps go through those files to find that thing. And then you find the thing. So you don't know until you know, and you'll know when you know. Trust it. Trust that inner knowing. And if you can't figure it out, take a break, allow it to come. Does that make sense? All right. Well, thank you for playing with me once again on the Mastering Overwhelm podcast. I love you. Have a great rest of the day.